Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? It's Robert Anthony. Have you wondered where I'm at? Probably not. But if you have, been busy, haven't been able to travel much. We're getting ready to face Valentine's Day in the flower business, but I thought I'd make a quick update and tell you a little bit about what's going on. But most importantly, at the end of this video, what I'm hoping is that you find yourself to be incredibly encouraged through a couple of things that I want to share with you. And it relates to the human suffering and the human condition of suffering that we go through. Now, I have a number of people in my life that are struggling with various illnesses. My dad has cancer. I guess that's the big one. But I've got a couple of men in the men's group that I sit with also that are suffering with cancer and going through all the crap that brings. And today I received an email from a friend of mine, a friend that I met while I was on the trail in the North Cascades part of Washington State. That's a national park that's beautiful on the very northern end of Washington, backs up to Canada. And it's an epic place to visit. And there will be videos that are going to follow later, much later, in the series of videos that I have to make. But be happy to share those with you. But I wanted to talk to you just a little bit about this suffering thing, the thing that we all go through. And he was giving me an update. He's got some real serious vocal cord issues. Not sure if he's ever really going to get his voice back. When I met him, he kind of had to talk like this. And that's not his normal voice. And he's really struggled through no fault of his own. And I got a good report from him. It's looking good, like he may get his voice back and may end up healing. Mind you, this is February right now, and that was September when I met him. But that was great news, and I sent him a quick message back and said, that I thought it was great news. I thought it was really cool to hear such a positive report from him. And I made the comment that God's good, and he had commented back that sometimes it's hard to wonder if God's good. When you have to struggle and go through the things, in essence, I'm paraphrasing, when you have to struggle and go through the things you're going through, it's hard to see that God is good. And, Job's a tough book to read, is what he had mentioned. And I think that that's true. And I just want to share with you some encouragement, and I want to offer you something to think about. And this is what I told him. And I said, you know what, man, I'm actually going to make a video about this because I think that it's really great. We don't like to suffer, and we don't like pain. And I often will reference this very thing in my own attempts to encourage other people. But the vast majority of Americans do not like, for example, to exercise. They hate physical exercise. And in the gym, I see this all the time, if they are exercising, the extent of their exercising is walking on a treadmill at about 2.5 miles an hour for an hour while they watch Hulu on their phone, or the TVs or whatever, or they sit on. Who thought of these recumbent bikes? I suppose maybe somebody for handicapped people, but these recumbent bikes where basically you're sitting in a recliner and you're pedaling your bike. How do you do that as a workout, right? So we don't like physical exercise. As a general rule, I would say maybe 10-15% of the population in America works out to the degree that like I work out at, or that my sons work out at. And it's basically a self-inflicted ass kicking, at least 3, if not 4 days a week for me, for an hour and a half. But here's what physical stress does, physical workout does for me. It tells my soul and my brain and my spirit that suffering actually can be good. And I often tell people, Jesus is like the personal trainer in the sky. He's the personal trainer for us of spiritual matters. The difference being, we don't have to force ourselves to go and work out and make ourselves uncomfortable. We can skip it, and most of us do. Most of us sit at home on the couch watching TV far too much, or with our faces in Instagram or Facebook. Facebook stock is dropping like crazy because they're a bunch of rat bastards. Let me just say that. With that being said, we spend too much time on the computer and on the phone, right? And so we're comfortable, we get lazy, it becomes difficult for us to walk upstairs, and it becomes difficult for our bodies to fight off disease or illnesses or viruses or whatever, which a lot of this could be avoided if we just forced ourselves to be a little uncomfortable every so often. Well, God will let us do that, for the most part. He'll let us do that. That's fine. If you want to take the single greatest asset that you have, that being your physical body, I challenge any of you to show me someone, for example, that would take $1.5 million or $2 million for one of their legs. Wouldn't do it. But boy, we strive to get that money in the bank, don't we? So, I digress. We don't like to struggle. We don't like to exercise. And so we're allowed to not do that. But the Lord wants all of us to develop spiritually. And given the fact that He is capable of disallowing us from avoiding the struggle, He's not gonna. He will cause our faith to grow. He will push us to extremes that we don't think that we can handle. Whether it's like with my dad, cancer. I'm not saying that my dad can't handle it. He's doing fine. But, other friends that I've had that have suffered, I have a friend in my men's group whose daughter passed away in an afternoon with had no idea it was coming. There was nothing to indicate that she was going to die. 26 years old, gone. Just like that. That's a struggle. I can't imagine that. So God knows what you are capable of doing. And what I sent in an email back to my friends, God, your personal coach, knows the limits and how far He can push you in what I call the proverbial deadlifting of life. The deadlift is by far, other than the full back squat, is probably the most difficult, challenging exercise on the planet, where you pick up a bar off the floor loaded with weight. It's precise, it's difficult, and it just sucks the life out of you when you do it, and you do it right, and you're doing it for building strength. Well, deadlifting in life is a challenge. Let me share with you a personal challenge that I've had to deal with. I own a flower shop, and the folks that own the building that I was in sold it, and there was no warning that they were selling it. Nobody knew what was going on. And so they sold it to somebody who I had developed kind of a relationship that was fairly it was tenuous. I don't know if that's the word that I want to use. There was some animosity. They were my neighbor, and we had some problems, and it was so I got the news that the building had been sold to them, and it floored us as a family, and we weren't sure what we were going to do. Now, we've since been able to work through some situations with the new landlords. But we're in a position now where our rent has increased to such a degree, it's like, holy cow, how are we going to deal with this? But if you know me, you know that I struggle with worry and I struggle with exercising my faith. But on the upside, one of the things that I'm able to look back at is many of the struggles that I faced in life. Many of you that know me know that when my son Levi was approximately 11 years old, we thought, no, 7. He was 7 years old. We thought that we were going to lose him to colon cancer. And that was one of the most scary things on the face of the earth. I went through a horrific divorce after 23 years of marriage, and I can't believe all of the ways that God showed up. Hindsight's always 20/20, of course, but I can't believe all of the ways that God showed up through that. And if I had more time, I would give you specific examples. That was amazing as it related to my kids and everything else. So I just want to encourage you, if you're struggling, we all are, but take note. Like with physical exercise, and if you do physical exercise right, you're going to be sore. If you do physical exercise right, you're going to sweat. If you do physical exercise right, you're going to be fairly uncomfortable. There's no way to grow your faith without some level of discomfort. So my encouragement to you is just to know that when the troubles come, surround yourself with people that can encourage you. Get yourself a good friend that can offer some encouragement to you, that can pour encouragement into your life, and that can help you keep your chin up. Because having people around you that are great encouragers when you're really struggling is one of the greatest benefits and assets that you can have. And just know, we all struggle. God knows what you're capable of enduring, like He knows what I'm capable of enduring. And understanding that truth has helped me to weather this most recent challenge that I've had to deal with related to our business and where we reside right now in our business. But it's all going to work out. You know why? Because God spoils the crap out of me. And so I think He'll spoil the crap out of you too. Just know, you can't avoid discomfort. It's a flaw to try to avoid discomfort. You have to have discomfort to become a powerful, influential, encouragement of a human being to other people around you. Because when you're up, someone else is down. When I'm up, someone else is down. When I'm down, someone else is up. And if we can lean on each other, you know what? It makes it okay. It makes it tolerable. It makes it something that we can deal with. So that's 10 minutes. I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. If you're following me on Rumble, I really appreciate it. If this is on YouTube, man, I'm sorry. I hope you have a great day. There are a lot of great videos coming from my trip in September, and they're just going to kind of come out as I have time. That's about the best that I can do right now. Got more and more stuff going on. I appreciate all of you, and as I have more thoughts, I am really going to do a better job of trying to share them with you. Mostly because, well, I just want you to be encouraged. Be encouraged. See you in the next one. I'm Rob. I'm out.